Hi, I'm Tom Grant. I'm a real estate agent with the principal team at Metro Brokers here in Denver. And I'm here with Krista Barnes. She's the community engagement manager at Kids in Need of Dentistry. And she's also known as their resident storyteller, I think. Thanks for taking some time to talk about Kind and Kind's mission.
Thanks for having me and us.
So can you explain what Kind does?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know, but Kind is actually a 110-year-old children's dental nonprofit that helps children provides high quality dental care for Colorado children in need. Kind is committed to providing dental care and doing that in a respectful and responsive way that meets cultural needs of our communities.
That is so great. So you mentioned it a little bit, but can you be a little more specific? Like, who are the types of people Kind helps?
Yeah, so we start very, very young. 1-year-olds have been into our clinic. That's usually when kiddos start going to the dentist, and then all the way up to young adults. We call them the big kids. So we service the whole range of ages, and we believe every child has the right to a healthy smile and healthy mouth, and no matter their economic circumstances or ability to pay.
So important. Um, and I know you have in your history in your life, you have personal experience with Kind. Can you tell a little bit about that?
Sure, yeah. I've been a fan of Kinds for a very long time. My little brother was helped by Kind. He's not so little anymore, but about 30 some years ago, our mother unfortunately passed away when I was 19, and I raised him from that point on. And he was just 9 years old and had a pretty rough go of it, and his mouth was no better. He had a lot of decay and a lot of dental issues. And for a boy that already wasn't smiling, that dental care was so important to give him a little extra boost and confidence. And Kind did amazing work for him over the course of about 4 years. We saw the dental provider and then also orthodontic help. And I never forgot about it. And then skip ahead to when I was a teacher a few years ago. I taught in urban schools for about 11 years, and I had students that were impacted by Kind very greatly. And I just saw the change from them not wanting to speak up in class to, being willing to share, and it impacted their learning. And, we've also heard stories about, where students and children, if their teeth are they're having dental issues, it's hard for them to eat or sleep or pay attention, and those are some basic needs. And so I've just been a fan of Kinds forever, and they worked a real miracle in my own life. So
What Kind does is fantastic. And David's the team leader at the principal team, have been with Kind into some of the schools, and we've seen that firsthand. Like, some of the kids are so excited and they're thrilled to get somebody to look at their mouth, and other kids are so afraid of it. And part of
right.
why a couple of the kids that I saw were afraid is because they did have problems and they were uncomfortable. And so I think yours and your brother's story are certainly not isolated over, 110 years. That's amazing. Kind has repeated that service to our community again and again and again. Obviously, we're coming out of a crazy time, or I hope we're coming out of it. During the pandemic, I know one of the big things Kind does is go into schools. They have a mission, it's part of your mission to do that. How did that change during the pandemic? What happened, and how did Kind shift their focus during that time?
Right. Well, I'm going to use a word that everybody's probably sick of and heard a lot, but we pivoted. Thankfully, we have a wonderful team and leader, Ellie Burby, that was able to quickly shift our focus. And yes, our clinics were closed briefly. And Chopper Topper, our school age program that goes into a ton of elementary schools, was not able to obviously go in and help kiddos anymore. And with that shift, we began a lot more outreach services, getting into socially distancing, but getting out to our communities and offering them food and dental supplies and even like grocery credit cards or gift cards. And really shifted the focus to things that we could still do to help our community. We worked on also increasing our infrastructure. So teledentistry and remote dentistry options that we'd always, wanted to do. It really presented the right time. And those are things that we continue today, that has only strengthened Kind and strengthened our patient base and our ability to access patients. But yeah, we did a lot of outreach. We did Kind Cares kits, which I know you all were involved with, and just an amazing experience. And thanks to wonderful people like you helping out with that.
That was fantastic. Last
Isn't that great?
Christmas we gave out those kits and it was so fun and really a great service. And yes, a good way to pivot. Um, I remember at the very beginning, you all provided PPE that you had and went out and made sure people who needed it had it. And that was
Right.
just so fantastic as well. So you think some of these changes will be long lasting? They'll continue after the pandemic?
Yeah, we sure hope so. Like I said, the teledentistry and remote options were something we'd had our eye on for a long time, and that is definitely something we will continue. I think we've all kind of figured out Zoom now, and some of those things, and it just only strengthens our ability to interact with patients and meet the needs of patients that may have transportation issues or childcare issues, and yeah, so that's something we definitely want to keep going. Kind Cares kits, absolutely, for people that need them. And we are really gearing up for what we believe is a big backlog in patients that will have dental issues and that have put needs on hold due to the pandemic. And we don't want to trade one healthcare crisis for another. And so we're really trying to gear up and be ready for that. In the aftermath of COVID.
That sounds really important. Yeah, and I'm sure that probably is likely. Um, so, what does the next year or so look like for Kind? Will you be going back into schools? What do you see happening?
Yes, thankfully, we don't have every school district lined up yet, but we do have some of our major partners that we've worked with for a really long time that we do believe we will be able to be back in schools starting pretty right away. Denver Public Schools is one that we've partnered with for, gosh, a really long time, and we'll definitely be back with them this year, and then probably, yeah, working with other districts too.
That's so great. That's so great. So, if people watching this want to support Kind and your work in our community, what can they do? How can they support you?
Yeah. Well, you all have been so great with that too. We just can't thank you enough. But our website is a great starting point, kindsmiles.org. So just KIND smiles.org. We've got a donation area there, a contact area. If people need registration forms to be seen, sometimes people are looking for a dental home, and that's something we can help with too. And I did want to say on, the financial piece, just $10 provides 5 toothbrushes for children. It's a very easy way to impact a child directly. You're literally changing their smile, helping them smile, which I think is, so powerful. And we do have 3 social media platforms that we try to be really active on, and tell some of our stories of our patients and our children: Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. And then we have a big event coming up, our gala, that'll be in October. So lots of ways to get involved if you want to.
Yeah, and you can register for the event online too, I'm sure. And you have
Yep,
other events too throughout the year. So it's
we do.
fun. It's really so rewarding just to see the faces of the children and their parents. We've really gotten to volunteer at different events, and it's it's really incredible just to sit there and watch what happens at those events and how it makes people feel. So
It
we're
really is.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're thrilled to support what Kind does. And as we come out of the pandemic and move into whatever is next, the principal team just we want to make a donation to help you fulfill your mission. So today we're gonna give you a check for $500,
Oh,
and
thank you.
well, I hope it can help. You know, like you said, any amount of money goes a long way. So I encourage people who are watching this to support Kind Kids in Need of Dentistry, kindsmiles.org, and do whatever you can because they're a great organization.
Well, that is so wonderful of you, and you've been such amazing partners. Very first story I heard about you all was that you get in and you were sitting down coloring with some of our kids at one of our events, and we just think the world of you. And thank you so much. Seriously, really, really, really means a lot.
Thanks, Krista, and thank you for your time. And I hope this just helps expose Kind to a few more people in the metro area. So thank you.
Definitely. Thank you.